Hello, my lovely friends. I'm here to talk about the February 5th, 2026 Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase. I streamed the whole thing, and it was a whole lot of fun. And then afterward, finished a really crazy Balatro run that I started last night and also streamed. Normally, I would publish a separate video of me watching the Direct on Topic Arlo, but this time I'm just going to direct you over to the stream VOD on the main channel. I'll put a link to the VOD in the description of this video if you want to go check it out, and you will also find the VOD from last night if you want to get the full picture of the Balatro run. It was a lot of fun, got a little bit crazy. The numbers got a little bit high. There were some E's. Some E's were had. Yeah, it was a real good time. But anyway, let's talk about the partner showcase. As always, I'm not going to talk about everything. I'll just hit the highlights for me, and then at the end, I'll talk about the presentation as a whole. Starting with Orbitals, this game was revealed at the Game Awards in December, and I keep forgetting that this is a Switch 2 exclusive. We should have expected to see it pop up. It's a Switch 2 exclusive. I don't know if it's a timed exclusive or what. I imagine it probably will end up being, but at least at the moment, this is a genuine Switch 2 game. And, I already talked about it a bit when it was revealed, but I'll say it again. It looks incredible. Like, the visuals are just magnificent. I mean, cell shading has been a thing for a little while now, and of course, trying to replicate the look of animation, of anime. Artists and devs have been getting better and better at that over the years, but I mean, this really is the pinnacle so far. This really is, as far as emulating the look of classic 80s anime specifically, it's so good. It's so good, looks really magnificent. It is very rare to get a game these days where I look at the visuals and I go whoa, either that's something new, that's something really genuine, or that's something that is just achieving something at a higher level than I have ever seen before. That is very rare. So no, it's really cool. But yeah, co-op game, that really is it's the trend now, is to make these visually spectacular games that look really amazing and then say they're co-op, and I kind of lose all interest. And that's not to say that it's a bad idea. That's not to say there's no market for this, because I mean it's following on the heels of all the Hazelight games. They've all done really super well. So obviously people really like these kinds of games. It's just not really for me. Realistically, I'm probably not going to find someone to play with. So yeah, it is a little bit disappointing. Although I will echo what plenty of people have said, that game share is a bigger deal on Switch 2 than most people give it credit for. The ability to play co-op with a friend, not even just locally, but online, even if they don't own a copy of the game, that is pretty darn cool. And if anything is gonna get me to play co-op with someone, it's definitely this, because we don't have to play locally and they don't even have to own the darn game. So that is really incredibly cool. As for the gameplay, the previous trailer made me think there was a lot more flying around and ship stuff, but this one focused a lot more on platforming. And they're running around and they have different kinds of guns. And I think it was the GameCube. On the GameCube, we got two games so close together, Luigi's Mansion and Super Mario Sunshine, where you just have a big gun thing, and you're either spraying something or shooting something, Ghostbusters style. So any game where someone's just holding the thing and they're just spraying water or something, there's something just about that idea. It just gels with me. So yeah, the gameplay here looks nice. They have different kinds of guns, and they're blasting water to cool lava, and they're grabbing stuff and sprouting leaves, and it does look really nice. The gameplay does look fun. Will I actually play it? I don't know, but at the very least, I can say the game does look very cool. Then we had Paranormicite, The Mermaid's Curse. That is a name that made me lol. I laughed out loud. I think it's a very funny name. Apparently this is a sequel to a Switch game, which was a bit of a surprise because the whole thing has got the style of an old DS game. And I mean that in the best way. Clearly the budget is pretty darn small. The whole presentation is a little bit rough, a little bit basic, but in this really nice, charming way. It really feels like I'm playing a remaster of a DS game. It's got that vibe. It totally reminds me of Trace Memory, Hotel Dusk, that kind of thing. And I was looking into the game, and that was when I learned that there was a previous one, and it reviewed very well. Like, you know, obviously a very small game. Not a lot of people knew about it, but like the reviews were absolutely glowing. So yeah, I don't know. This one may be one to look out for. Okay, so then they revealed this game, and it's like survival horror with dinosaurs. Like, it's all stealth. You know, like there's no combat, so you're just trying to like get away from the weird dinosaur. And it's not like, it's like dinosaur-based monsters, but then throughout the trailer, they get more and more monstrous. And you know, you're like setting traps for them and stuff. Like, the game, it looks really rough. It looks really rough. Like, I don't know, like I can appreciate the vision behind it, but it looks like it, yeah, it just looks really rough. But the only actual reason I'm bringing it up, it's called Tokyo Scramble, and I could not stop laughing about that. Like, just this trailer, it's got a good spot here in this direct. It's giving you this whole overview, the monsters, and how you gotta get away from them, and how you can play online. And then it reveals the name, like Tokyo Scramble. What is that? Like, it's an arcade game name. I don't get it. It doesn't make sense. Tokyo Scramble. Like, I need the logo to be like red and yellow and have like a bunch of exclamation points at the end. I just don't understand it, but I love it. So Hollow Knight Switch 2 edition, apparently that got leaked like earlier today or yesterday or something. But yeah, free upgrade for previous owners, available now, presumably later today. So yeah, probably by now or sometime pretty soon. Awesome. I'm glad I waited. I'm glad I waited to finish the game, because now it's going to look really, really nice. It said enhanced resolution and frame rate, so I have to, I mean, the original is 60, right? So does that mean 120? I mean, that'd be pretty cool. But yeah, no, I mean, it is great though. Yeah, I played a little bit of the Silk Song demo on a nice big TV, and like that, yeah, just the higher resolution looked really just unbelievably gorgeous. So I'm sure this game is also going to be looking real fine. Adventures of Elliot, the Millennium Tales got a trailer. It is now coming June 18th, which is great. And I mean, like, I have like there's like the list of games that I want to play, but then there's like the list of games where I'm scared I'm not gonna have time to play, and they hurt me a little bit more than the others. You know what I mean? Like, I'm getting this vibe from Adventures of Elliot. I'm like, this game looks really good, and I know it's gonna release, and I'm not gonna play it, and then it's gonna be gone, and then I'll be like, maybe I'll play it someday, and I just never will, and I will feel bad about it, because it really does look good. It's just hard for me to like place it high enough on the priorities list, you know? But no, it is cool. It's coming in June. It does look real nice. Is that how I'm ending like each section for like a game that looks good? Oh, it looks real good, just real nice. Is that like my thing now? Well, you know what else is real nice? Super Bomberman collection. I'm not a Bomberman fan, but I know a lot of people are. And, you know, these kinds of collections, they tend to go over pretty well. And a lot of people in chat were quite excited about it, except for the one person, my condolences, who just bought hardware specifically for the purposes of play, like a Famicom, playing a bunch of Bomberman games. My heart goes out to you. But for everyone else, no, this is cool. I did not realize they made that many Bomberman games that early on, that close together. Apparently it was a pretty darn popular series at one point. And really this does only cover, like, it looks like just the first few years of Bomberman. So I'm sure there will be many more collections. There are many more Bomberman games to collect. And, you know, these collections are all the rage right now. So here we go. It's a nice beginning. And that was another Shadow Drop. That's available, like, right now. So, awesome. Real nice. And then we got a release date for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which is, yeah, definitely surprising, because the other one just came out pretty darn recently, right? So they're already giving us a release date for the next one. I imagine it must have sold pretty well if they're just like, all right, next one's coming, you know? It was a very good port, apparently. So there you go. I can only hope that this one ends up being as good on a technical level, because this is the one that introduces the really big, like, world map. So hopefully things go okay there, but I mean, I have faith. And yeah, I mean, the last one was like one of the best third-party ports that we have seen on the Switch 2 so far. So yeah, And I will mention Pragmata for a second, just to say I've not been super duper interested in it. I mean, obviously it's been coming for like a super long time. It was announced like 6 years ago or something. And so far it hasn't done too much to set itself apart. It's Capcom. The gameplay looks good. The presentation looks good. It's cool that it's coming to Switch too. And it looks very Resident Evil in like the combat, shooting the different parts of the robot bodies or whatever. But I was still kind of like, I'm not completely sold on it. But apparently I didn't even like know this at all until some previews went out like earlier this week or something. And then you can also see it here that apparently in combat there's like a little hacking mini game where you're like moving along a little grid, and that affects the combat and the shooty stuff. Yeah, I had absolutely no idea. I don't remember seeing that in any of the other trailers. If I did, I think I just didn't register what was happening. I was just really focused on like the combat or whatever. And this is kind of it's a little risky, because if I end up liking this kind of thing, it could be something that lifts up the gameplay and sets it apart. It could be that little element that I've been kind of looking for. It looks like it could be really cool. But I'm getting Origami King flashbacks. If you introduce like a literal puzzle into what would otherwise be more traditional combat, it's a risk. It really is a risk, because if my brain is not like up for doing a puzzle, up for like puzzles, like that's a really specific part of my brain, and it gets tired. It gets really tired. It gets very full, and that's the kind of thing that can make me just absolutely nope out of an experience. If I'm just like, I don't want to do puzzles right now, even just like regular like mini game puzzles, like hacking puzzles, sometimes I'll just be like, ugh, I don't want to do this right now. So yeah, I don't know. It looks like it's probably simple enough. It's probably more of a thing, like it's less about solving a puzzle and more about just deciding how you want to tackle the puzzle, because that'll probably affect the gameplay. But yeah, I don't know. The rest of it looks like Resident Evil. So if it's like Resident Evil gameplay, shooting the different parts of the body and the enemy reactions and stuff, but like mixed in with some other cool element, like that could make for a really, really great game. So I guess I'm more interested than, oh, there's a demo! I forgot about that. There's a demo. I did not expect a demo for this game, but there you go. Now I can try it out. That'll be fun. Maybe I'll stream it or something. That could be cool. I want to very briefly mention Kyoto Zenedu. It's definitely not my kind of game, just like overall, but I do want to say I really like mixing different elements like that work in games, just mixing them together in new ways. And on the surface, this looks like Persona Metroidvania. I mean, that's just a great idea. I just wanted to say that. Take any other genre, any pre-existing idea or flavor of game, and make it Metroidvania. Mix it up. Like, sure, that's a winner. Monster Hunter Stories 3 Twisted Reflection, looking pretty good. I will remind anyone who is hesitant to get into this series, that you do not have to be a Monster Hunter fan or player to enjoy these games whatsoever. I played the second one. It was really good. I don't know if I'm going to play the third one yet. I don't know if it's a high enough priority, but it does look very good. The second one was very good, and this just looks like even more and even better, and if anything, kind of aimed at a little bit of an older audience, which is kind of cool. So yeah, if you like turn-based combat, you're always looking for your actually well-designed Pokemon alternatives, then do not sleep on Monster Hunter Stories. And there's a demo available later today, so there you go, try it out. While you're there, I also recommend picking up the Sonic Wings special, very delicious. So then we got a new trailer for Resident Evil Requiem, which is launching day and date in a few weeks on Nintendo Switch 2, and that is exciting. I will not be picking up the game on Switch 2. I mean, handheld Resident Evil, there is a lot of value to that for sure. Like, I played Revelations 2 on my Switch a whole heck of a lot. The games are just so replayable. So handheld is good, but I think in this case I would rather play on the fancier hardware, get the nice graphics. But like, obviously it's really cool. It's coming to Switch 2. We got this trailer. It didn't really reveal a whole lot. It was just kind of like a reminder trailer. If anything, this was like the reveal. It showed off the Leon and Grace amiibo. We're getting a Leon amiibo. in the year 2026, we're getting a Leon amiibo. I don't know if I'm gonna get it or not. I keep talking about how, like, nah, I'm priced out. I'm not gonna get any more amiibo. Oh, Leon, though. I don't know. I feel like it'll be impossible to get. I think usually these, like, third-party ones, they end up having these really limited runs, and they go in, like, a second. You know, like, you can't find the Dark Souls one. Like, that was gone in 1 second and never came back. So, yeah, I don't know. I will say, it looks a little rough. The Leon one. I don't know, the depiction, his face, looks a little bit messed up. The rest looks okay, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that face. Also, I will say this trailer was very, very funny. This is a Nintendo presentation, so they didn't want too much gore. And Leon's whole thing is, in this game in particular, is the gore and the action. So, like, seeing all of this footage where they're, like, purposefully missing, absolutely hilarious. Just, like, missing all over the place, swinging a chainsaw around, but, like, never hitting anything, or, like, cutting away at the last second when it's about to hit. I love it. That's so funny. Oh, I can't even say any more about the game, though. I'm just so excited. Oh, I trust Capcom completely. Everything we've seen so far looks amazing, sounds amazing, best of both worlds, first person, third person, action, horror, everything. All of the previews have been amazing. Everybody's saying who's played it, it's amazing. I'm excited to play it in a few weeks. Oh yeah, and then the reminder that Capcom is releasing Resident Evil 7 and 8 on the same day. I love this. We're like, with Nintendo, we're always like, I don't know, would they release a remaster that close to the new one? Capcom does not even care. Give us all of the games, and they'll be on sale eventually. Like, I just love it. Like, who cares? Cannibalization? What's that? Give them the new game and the last 2 games, gold editions with all of the DLC for all of them. Whatever. Let the players decide. So cool. And then the direct closed out with a Todd Howard jump scare, and we're getting 3 Bethesda games, which, I mean, like, I don't want to complain too much, but I'll complain a little. It was really weird how few Bethesda games we got on the original Switch. We got Skyrim, and that was cool, but it was just like the whole time. It was just like, where is Fallout 3? Where is New Vegas? These were games that just, like, such old games, it would not be a problem at all to port them to Switch, I would imagine. I would hope, and yet it never happened. And now, yeah, I don't know, maybe it was a technical thing, because now on Switch 2, they announced 3 games at once. We've got Fallout 4, I think it's a little bit too late for me. I wanted to play, like, I played 3. That 3 is the only one I played, like, all the way through, and I really, really loved it. I've been wanting to play New Vegas, so I was really hoping for that one. I wanted to play 4 for a long time. Heard a lot of mixed things about it. A lot of people say it's not really quite worth it, but I wanted to try it anyway. So it is unfortunate that now that they're finally putting it on a Switch, I think I'm just not interested anymore. I think I think the ship has sailed. And also, this port looks weirdly rough. Like, weirdly rough. Considering the Switch 2 is basically like a little portable PS4. I know it's not exactly as simple as that, and different games are sure, but, like, I don't know. I feel like it should look better than this. So yeah, I don't know if it's one of those Bethesda having a hard time with porting things, but yeah. But then they also announced Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, which is cool because that's a it's a fairly recent game, and it was very highly regarded, so that's kind of cool, getting that on Switch 2. And then the one that excites me, and also kind of scares me, is Oblivion Remastered, which is one of the main, a lot of games launch every year, but there's, like, the little handful of the ones where I'm like, ooh, I really know I shouldn't play that, because that's just, like, hundreds of hours. But it really tempted me, like, a lot. So now it's coming to Switch 2, and it's like, ooh, no! Do not put that game on Switch 2. You know, if they, like, hadn't touched the game too much, then I'd be like, nah, it's fine. I don't like Oblivion. The level system's broken. Well, they fixed the leveling system, so, like, there you go. This is a classic, like, good old days, golden glory days Bethesda RPG. So yeah, and, like, I mean, it looks probably a little bit better than the Fallout 4 port, but I'm still like, I don't know, would I rather play it on Xbox or something to get, like, the better graphics, or is it better for the handheld? I don't know. I'm gonna try really hard not to get it either way. I do not have time. But for anyone who hasn't played that game, who, either has or hasn't played Skyrim, like, it's a good game. It's a very, very, yeah, now that they fixed the leveling system, it's a real great game. Definitely old-fashioned in a lot of ways, and they preserved a lot of the old, like, kind of janky charm, but modernized it in a lot of ways. So I don't know, I would say out of these 3 games, yeah, Oblivion Remastered, probably the biggest win here. So that closed out the presentation, and overall, partner showcases are always a tricky thing. They're always a really tricky thing, because it's really easy to watch one and see a lot of like really rough looking ports or just like a lot of obscure games and be like, yeah, really nothing stuck out to me very much at all. Or like, to watch a whole thing and just be like, yeah, I don't want to play any of that. And to feel kind of disappointed about it. But then you also have to consider that like, there's nothing wrong with putting out a presentation with a lot of like smaller niche stuff. It's awesome that these things are coming to the system. It's great that Nintendo supports a lot of these things. And so it's, there are audiences for these things. Again, like Bomberman, people were freaking out about that. There's a lot, and there are good games here, like, yeah, some of those Bethesda games, like that is pretty cool. There are good announcements here. But like when you look at it in the greater context, I don't know, there's just this very weird dynamic between like what we get and kind of like what is expected. Right now, it's like still basically the beginning of the Switch 2 generation. So expectations are kind of high, but it's also to be expected that there's just like a lot of stuff coming to the system, and Nintendo wants to put like a spotlight on a lot of those, which again is cool. Give a spotlight to the smaller games, that's neat. But right now, we're also kind of waiting for a big main general direct. So like right now, it's hard to like judge the appropriateness of this presentation. If this was just to get all this stuff out of the way so that we could get like a full direct next week, then great presentation. No complaints from me at all. This is just a bonus. Like this is just the icing on the cake. It's a cherry on top, It's just gravy. But if we don't, if this is like it for February, then we're all just going to be kind of like, what gives? What the heck? Like, where are the games? So yeah, I don't know. It's weird. It is very, very weird, because if we don't end up getting a bigger direct later, because those will have third-party games too. There are always third-party games, at least some, in a main Nintendo Direct. And if they saved like the juiciest bits for that, then again, fair enough, that would be fine. But if this right here, this collection of a lot of smaller, more niche games that we were already aware of, and just like, then yeah, that's gonna feel really strange and really underwhelming. So it's hard to say. It's hard to judge this. It's hard to give like a letter grade to this, because it really depends on who you are and the context and what ends up happening down the line. So that's why I am thankful that I don't actually have to judge it. Did you know you don't actually have to? I feel like earlier on in my channel, I felt way more compelled to like judge every presentation, every direct of like how good it was. And the further we go, yeah, you don't actually have to do that. I don't need to. I don't need to give like a final judgment call on like how good the presentation. I mean, it's still fun. It's still fun to like analyze like as a presentation. How entertaining was it? How broad of a reach do these games have? Yada yada. But like, yeah, I don't know. For a partner showcase, who cares? It was it was kind of underwhelming, but it had some fun stuff in there too. So maybe I'll just leave it at that and wish you a good day.